And welcome back to another episode of the Ouchcast. Enrique?
Hey, how's it going there, fellas? Isn't that...
That's like morning radio.
I know.
Zip and poop in the morning. Hey.
So I got a question about that point. Because, I mean, dude, you're an aspiring broadcaster in a way, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so, like, what is it with the YouTube voice? You know what I'm talking about?
The one where they talk like this. That one?
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Kind of like the movie, well, not movie phone per se. Oh, like Mojo, Screen Mojo or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
they
goes, hey there, guys.
Hey there, guys. How's it going, everybody? Yeah.
And it's like monotone, and sometimes, and then other times it has like, there's literally no comas. Actually, I'm in a coma. There's no commas in their conversational speech.
I don't know, but I think it's something to attract the younger ones, because like my 3 younger kids are obsessed with YouTube, and all their I guess they're YouTubers who they watch. I'm listening and it's like, oh God, it's so annoying. It's like just hearing them, oh my God, and then like they like hyperactive, and then they do that no comma talk, like no zero punctuation is what I consider them to be. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just popular. I mean, Isaac, you had something like that too, but not as much as your brother and your brothers and sister. They have like there's the two guys.
The Lanky Box.
The Lanky Box kids.
I hate those guys.
Dude, the way they talk.
Hey, but do they wear
They like yell for everything.
Do they wear fish on their feet?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, just putting that out there.
But they have purple hair.
They have purple hair.
Hey, Isaac, throw me one of your shoes. Throw me him. Here, throw me that bass. All right, this is what the kids think is popular, people. Will you put your mouth in it? Is that the joke? Oh, catch.
Jesus Christ!
There you go.
You're gonna knock over everything again.
This is how we do things. We're sloppy as hell.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. Quiet. Speaking of quiet, what's that rumbling? What's that rumbling I hear out there?
Insert that random monster sound that they always have.
Yeah. We are here with a actually focused episode, because Angel knows how to do things when he wants to do them. Kaiju.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
No. Yeah, today we want to talk about kaijus, because Enrique brought it up and I thought it was interesting, and we did a little research actually last time we were here, and it looked like a good topic.
Okay, so what he's not telling you guys is this guy had like a straight up chubby man, and he couldn't help it. He was like, oh yeah. When I said like kaiju, his voice got significantly higher.
Just picture
his
Enrique's
hair started
face
growing longer, and he got all girly. He was like prancing around the classroom like this, and I'm like, bro, it's just Godzilla.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
So, I mean, all right, what's your relationship with like Godzilla? Because I can tell you, like, mine was that this ugly little toy that my dad gave me that I didn't want, right? I didn't want this toy because I had Atari at the time, and then of course Nintendo. But my dad and who didn't want G.I. Joe? So that's what I was getting. But my dad gave me this Godzilla toy, and I was like, what? I don't want it. And then like my dad noticed that I didn't want it. And so I guess, was it Channel 13 where it like, they had the movie on. I watched it with my dad, and I slept with that toy that night, and I lost
the original one.
Yeah,
with the toy, huh?
Yeah. Me and the toy, we went to bed together. It was a very confusing.
My
5-year-old.
My earliest memory, I don't remember the age, but my brother bought a 7-foot tall inflatable Godzilla. Original Godzilla, and he had it in the corner of his room. Actually, what was funny about it is it was huge, and it was like really thick vinyl, and he used to use it as a coat rack. Like he would put his shirts on it and stuff, and that's what he used it for. But me being like, I'm 11 years younger than him, he would grab it and start punching me with it, like wrestling with it. That was my first memory of Godzilla. And I loved that thing for the longest time until it popped, and then we couldn't find a replacement. But that I will always remember.
How hard did you love this thing?
Very hard,
dude. You know what? I
would blow it.
I'm never gonna grow up, man. I'm too immature for every subject.
I don't want to grow up.
So here's the thing that I find interesting about Godzilla. Just to get a little serious about it, is like, I mean, the whole thing was like supposed to be a horror movie, right? I mean, that much I know. Like the original thing was supposed to be a horror movie, but,
Yeah.
but more importantly, like the whole thing, like, and it's no secret. It's not nothing intelligent to say about it. That the whole thing is really just like Japan, like dealing with
Traumatized.
the trauma, right? Dealing with the drama of like World War II. Because guys, we were Godzilla. Like America was Godzilla to Japan. I mean, mind you, it's their fault. They shouldn't have bombed us in Pearl Harbor. They, there's a whole interesting.
poked the bear.
They sure did, and there's a whole interesting like 20 year like build up to World War II. By the way, it's fascinating stuff. If you guys ever, there is a podcast that does a really great show of it. It's called oh gosh, it's a. It'll come back to me, but it's a history podcast. They're long. They're about 3 to 4 hours long, and they're broken up into big episodes. But really, you will be able to understand the Japanese mindset of what led up to World War II. However, Pearl Jam happened. And
Now
everybody
I have a
just
picture of Eddie
walked
Vedder as
out.
Godzilla.
No, okay, so
Jeremy smoking.
So Pearl Harbor happens, man, and so yeah, they poked the bear and we unleashed it, and then of course Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So the thing is here's the thing, and I'll get a little boring on this one, and then you make it interesting again, bro. America knew very very well how flammable Japan was in terms of how their cities were built. Like they maximized destruction specifically for this. If you look up like any battle plans of invasions into Japan, America knew specifically that if they bombed these areas, they were going to light up like kindle, kindle to the flame, because it really, like, most of the area was wooden and like with paper mache, that that rice paper stuff, and so they knew how much destruction was going to be had. And so whenever and America did bomb Japan over the course of like a year, leading up to World War II, or leading up to, to the nuclear war. Mm-hmm. Long story short, Japan grew up with this trauma of like these flames, these cities being burnt down to a crisp. And then, the nuclear war, bomb being dropped, and then all of the talk of like the radiation and mutations, and they saw it firsthand with their own citizens, because even to this day there are people who still have cancer, who have signs of the physical damage from Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
There's a documentary that I saw about 15 years ago or so, where they were showing how some of the survivors of Nagasaki were being treated still to that day. Like they were like getting, there was still the generation right after that still had some effects of it as well. Mm-hmm. And it was actually pretty intense.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense, and it brings a whole new eye to the whole. I mean, the situation was always terrible no matter what. There were no winners on that
right.
part, but still, it's amazing. But you could see why World War II and the crimes of all the nations traumatized the Japanese into creating two things. One being the kaiju Godzilla himself, or Gojira,
Yeah.
and of course Battle Royale.
So the question then is begged: what happens? Like, because it's meant to be a horror movie. Godzilla is made into horror. It's a horror movie, and so then what if a monster movie is a way to deal with like the trauma that the nation dealt with? And mind you, none of this is qualitative like statements we're making in that. I mean, if you ask me personally what I thought of World War II, the things that America did were very necessary. I'll tell you guys outright. But we can still objectively look at like a movie like Godzilla and realize what it was meant to be, and how it affected, how it affected the nation, and how it helped them rebuild their sort of like perspective. Mind you, like you can look at anime all the way up and through the 80s, and other than Godzilla, you can absolutely see depictions of like huge destruction on a like huge scale in their anime, which just
Akira,
to me, yeah, absolutely. Akira, the cartoon opens up with what looks like almost a mushroom cloud, like opening up like in a city, and its destruction, and then boom, you cut to the big logo of Akira in red, and you're like, whoa, what's this? Mind you, every single other anime in that time had some sort of aspect that, but Godzilla, I think, really is the one that stood the test of time, right?
Yes.
And so, tell me, man, like where are you at right now with your Godzilla love? No.
My love for Godzilla's immense. I love it. No, it's okay. I'm not like I don't do deep cuts. Like I do go for the old stuff, and we'll touch base on that. But right now, I am really into the Monarch and that whole series with the new Godzilla, which we'll also touch base. It's great. But you know what? This just in though. I'm hearing there's reports from the field from an old blast from the past. Was actually reporting live from the battlefield. From this scene back here. He's somewhere in the background. So let's see. What does he have to say? Let's see if he actually hears something.
What is going on? What is going on, fellas? Man, what is happening in the world today? We got Outcasts dropping bombs on Stankonia. We got Iran getting bombed by Israel. We got the Epstein files dropping. You know what? I got a solution for all of this. Release Godzilla. Godzilla take care of all this mess. Just atomic breath to all these perverts. Perverts everywhere. Not the angel kind of pervert, but, you know, the perverts. Shame, I know your name. Atomic breath right in their chocolate pockets. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and Shin Godzilla got those little arms. I'm training to become a dare officer myself. That's how I'm going to fight the crime, fight the good fight. You know what tastes great on toast? Jam. Not that jelly crap. What kind of sociopath uses jelly? Who does that? Anyway, guys, I just want us to explore our feelings for a second.
Oh my gosh.
Did anyone really think King Kong had a chance? Godzilla was watching Training Day the day before. And he was like, King Kong ain't got on me. That's right. Enrique?
You?
I didn't know you like to get wet, man.
Oh, wow.
PCP, Angel Dust.
What?
Upgraded from that Nicaraguan jazz, huh? That booger sugar. That Bolivian marching powder, huh?
Minnesota has damaged his brain.
Don't you look down on me? How come you ain't joined me online? I've been trying to game with you forever. Link up with me, man. Atari, baby. We back in this.
It's an Atari.
And listen to me. 100% cotton is for those sex addicts. But the elegant fabric known as cashmere was made for these leg warmers. I'm in Minnesota, baby. I gotta stay warm. Now get up on the good foot and swing your Godzuki. Don't act all cool with this recording with your WTFs and your Delulus. Angel, you make me sick with your Duran and your progressive drag rights.
Hey,
Your wigs are
that's mine.
atrocious. Shame on you. Now, before I go, guys, before I serenade you with an opera a cappella rendition of Straight Up Now Tell Me Now by the magical Paula Abdul, I just want you to know, who do you think had the best use of Godzilla in music, and who do you think that used the atomic breath? Shin Godzilla -1, or was it the remake? I like them all personally, just, you know, because, you know, my nickname is Godzilla. I ain't gonna brag, but you know, you can call me Doylezilla. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Shut up. All right.
You know, if you take Doyle and
You know what?
Zilla,
Enrique,
yes.
hop on that digital crystal ball that we call Google and find a list. We all know Angel likes lists. All right, y'all. Peace out. Doyle rules.
You know, the funny thing is that I'm staring at that
This
list.
bitch.
I'm staring at Angel's list. It's right there.
It's right here. I do have a list.
Hey, he's got your number.
I actually do have a list.
He's got your number. Okay, look, man.
Little bitch.
What did he say?
He said a lot of stuff, man. That crack in
Godzilla?
Minnesota is pretty
I'm
strong.
sorry, but all I hear was dildo. I mean, did he say Dilla? What?
He said Dilla. He also called us outcasts.
His black is showing.
Jesus, Doyle.
I mean, okay, Doyle.
For the record, we heard that blindly. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah. I just barely heard this. I'm cracking up a lot. Okay, so wait, what? Cotton? Really? You wanted to use?
He went into cotton.
We've just recovered from our from our lighthearted racism. When you were on the show, and then you have to rear your ugly head, and
we got in trouble. We got in trouble with HR. We took some classes, and then you come back.
We were on. We were on the road
to recovery.
To recovery. And then you had to go and talk cotton.
Healing wounds, man. Healing wounds. But no, here we go.
Oh, man. I'm going to need a vacation after this.
Yeah. HR.
Oh, man. That was fun.
Anyway.
It was good to hear his voice. I miss him.
It was great, man. I miss that guy.
I miss our third leg.
Our third nut. So he brings up Godzilla. We talked about Godzilla.
Yeah.
There's been a bunch of versions of it, but of course here is
the most iconic one, man. Of
the
course.
original. Is it 1956? I want to say.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
I want to say so.
Now
let's look at
have
the
you
list.
Have you actually seen? Shut up! I don't. The list is not here. Have you ever seen the original 1956?
Oh yeah. Of
Not
course.
the Japanese version.
1954, by the way.
54,
Well done.
54. Thank you. Sorry. Oh yeah, you're right. 1954.
So Tomoyuki Tanaka, right? Studio Toho still owns the shit, right? So 1954, and then they introduced Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla in that run of, I guess kaiju's. But anyways, I'm sorry. You're asking. I apologize.
You saw the original Gojira one.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, because there's two different ones. There's the American one, Godzilla.
Yes.
Which I don't remember what year. I think that one came out in like 56 or so, or something
Yeah.
like that. Because I think that's the one where they had Bradbury. They put American actors over it, and they changed the storyline.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
no, I see. I might have
dubbed.
watched it. I might have watched it, but I will always remember the Japanese actors in that original one because they sold everything very well.
Well, the original. Okay, so there's two versions. The Americanized one, they changed the storyline, and of course, they added the whole Americana onto it.
Okay.
But they kept some of the plot from the original, so you do see a lot of the original actors. But since they wanted to Americanize, you get some new shots that were included to change the storyline to be more Americanized. That's the one I first saw when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since. I've actually only seen the original subtitled Gojira.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Look at the suit.
Yeah, well,
It's a guy in a suit.
absolutely, man. But can I ask you that prior to this, was this the first use of a suit on movie camera for the Japanese? Because that became like a hallmark of just Japanese culture for the longest time.
I believe so.
Movies,
I
right?
believe so because correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
info@ouchcast.com.
Yeah.
But I believe so because before this, you had King Kong in the 1930s and The Lost World and all this, and what they used to use was stop motion animation or claymation. So when you see the original 1930s King Kong, it's this, it's a freaking frame claymation figure with fuzz and stuff that's shot separately from the actors, and they put them together. When The Lost World, same thing. You have T-Rexes. It's all claymation. So I'm not too sure, but I do believe it was the first time they wanted to give it some reality behind it, which I think is another reason why it was so shocking. I may be wrong, but I think it was kind of like they wanted to get away from that cartoony claymation look or animation look.
Funny enough that you say that because it's actually referred to as suitmation.
There you go.
And it involves an actor wearing a large creature suit while performing inside detailed miniature sets. And that was started in the Godzilla series. But apparently, it says here the most famous and fully realized use of this technique was in Japanese cinema. The Godzilla directed by Ishiro Honda and special effects by E.G. Tsuburaya. So the movie essentially created the standard method that's been used for decades in Japanese monster films up until probably the 80s when they started changing the techniques. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's amazing though.
So suitmation.
Suitmation.
Now that never really took off here in America.
No, it did not.
They had people in monster suits, but never to that scale. Though, right?
Let me put an asterisk to that. It never took off here, created here, but there was a love for importing these suitmation films.
Okay.
Because Godzilla in the 80s was huge here. 70s and 80s was huge.
Right.
But again, we would not create the stuff, we just absorbed it. We were just fans of the stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if it was if we just thought it was like, oh, it's silly and that's what we liked it, or some of us thought it, I enjoy it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree. So in that they were able to realize other ambitions. See, the thing about Japan is it's always been like they industrialized really fast. That's a hallmark of Japanese culture, and in that industrialization, they had to combine old world techniques with new world techniques really fast. While Western culture took years and years to sort of build up qualitatively to where they were at in terms of like the way they use techniques, special effects, storytelling, just everything everything in terms of culture. Well, in Japan, they had to do it overnight, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but earlier we were sort of having this off-camera talk about like, difference between like our age groups and whatnot, and like it turns out that people who were born in the 1975 up into like 1985, we're actually known as this group called Zennials.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because we're the only generation that was able to go from, like, for example, rewinding videotapes on cassettes, like not ironically, but out of essence, into downloading like MP3s onto an iPod, and we did that during our most formative years. And so essentially, the world changed around us like really fast, which sounds really, really silly, but it goes back to my original point where, in that time, during our more formative years, we were able to very naturally learn these things quickly because the world changed that fast.
To clean it up a little bit, it's like our childhood was analog, but our teenage and beyond
Yes,
was digital.
absolutely.
That is what a Xenial is.
For sure. And so in fact, we'll probably want to do a whole topic on this in the near future, because I have like material that I'd love to go over.
I love that.
But that particular aspect obviously blends to a lot of the nostalgia that we all feel now. And mind you, like, we're sandwiched in between like the older generation who had to learn these new things like by force, and the younger generations who grew up in that era, and they knew nothing else. And so we're stuck in the middle. And we also right now have the purse strings and the attention of people. That's the reason why all podcasts and shows are usually about like nostalgia and toys from the 80s and all that, whatever.
You remember?
I remember. So, long story short, like when it comes to Godzilla, and when it comes to the techniques that were used, that's exactly what Japan is in essence, were Zennials, that they went from being, like this feudal society that was still like, that was still separated by a monarch and all of these little governors who had more absolute power than they do now, and quickly transition into a democratic government. And they sent out people all over the world to sort of start learning these industrialized and systems, and brought them back, and like overnight they changed. So then sure enough, it shows up in their movies.
I don't know why. I thought you were going to say Demogorgon. I have no idea why.
That's weird. I think what happens when I go on these long tangents, like he literally goes buh, buh, buh. And, like he has like the little yum 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 yum
Yum yum yum yum yum yum yum yum.
and then suddenly he goes Demogorgon.
Yeah. I was listening. No, I was listening. I was intrigued. I was intrigued. Actually, for once, I was intrigued.
No.
Shocking.
Shocking.
No, I don't know, but I don't know why it sounded like a Democrat.
Sure.
Anyway,
I was going to say the Democratic Society, but
no, but that is
Demogorgon.
That is an interesting point. I think you're onto something with that one.
So here's the thing now. So going back to the Godzilla, so Japan then makes these movies, right? And they realize like their nightmares through this catharsis, like, right? They make movies, and they start to sort of like mess around with the sort of the formula of Godzilla, because initially he is a nameless like force of nature, right? That's what he's supposed to be. And then somewhere along the way he becomes their hero, right? And so they start introducing all of these different like creatures that start to try to attack as part of that continued fallout of like radiation, or some of them come from outer space or whatever.
Yeah. And
then, and in that, Japan then introduces Godzilla as a hero. Although I never understood that part. Like, so why? How did that happen? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I know there's been a lot of different iterations of Godzilla, different sizes, different scaling. From the modern one to Godzilla Earth, which was this gigantic beast, and on and on. But I know that Godzilla became like one of the first anti-heroes.
Yeah, for sure.
So he became something more than what originally was this terror thing. So he became a force of nature. I know in the new series he's a Earth protector or something like that. But I don't know exactly what the point. I mean, there's a lot of movies in between. There's 38 movies for God's sake of the actual Godzilla series, not counting the new ones. Well, actually, no, counting the new ones, but not counting other what's the name of the turtle? Gamera?
Yeah, Gamora.
No, Gamora is from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, she is a turtle.
Yeah, Gamera. But okay, that's not part of the series. But in my mind, it's always part of the Kaiju Godzilla movies. Right. But it's not. It's someone else did that.
So here's the thing. Like I think of Godzilla, and mind you, it's still as a metaphor for like the trauma that Japan was dealing with. He then becomes, a hero, and I think, and from what little I've looked up and known, he basically became a sort of continued metaphor for like their optimism.
Yeah.
In the sense that at the time, there was a lot of economic growth happening for them, and because of it, it started to show up in their movies. I mean, mind you, guys, like culture is always going to be the litmus test to how healthy or how productive our culture is, how we feel about ourselves. I know that right now maybe that's probably a very controversial point because we went through these whole culture wars and we're still going through them, in which people were getting mad at Netflix for overrepresentation of alternative lifestyles and blah 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 blah, and people saying that they're trying to make the frogs gay, all that stuff. So Godzilla,
turn the freaking dogs gay. Sorry.
So Godzilla is suddenly becoming this hero, mind you, because at the time, Japan was feeling pretty damn optimistic, and so he was no longer the scary threat. Now he was going to be
the prideful,
the
prideful mascot.
And I always remember in the movies, like you always have like that shot of like the man and the girl, and they're hugging each other, looking up and scared, and they're like, "He's our hero," and then just like I never rooted for Godzilla. I hated those movies. I hated those. I mean, I like some of the battles, especially when he would like pose. When he do like the action pose, like that rubber suit man, like getting into the Kempo protective pose,
the Ultraman pose.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was like, okay.
Do you remember the one where he does a flying kick and he's going like this
with the tail, and where the tail's being used as a slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that. So, okay. I mean, here's the thing. So over the years, Godzilla, he's changed. He's gone from, being like this small creature to this imposing, like, beast and stuff. So I want to talk about like the different sizes of Godzilla. Tell me, like, what do you think is the scariest Godzilla in your opinion, man?
Scariest for me would have to be Shin. Really. 2016 Shin over there.
No, the biggest one. Where's that dude from?
That's Godzilla Earth.
Is that the
anime one, the animated one? I don't know. I think that's over the top. I think it's so large that like I wouldn't even. Are we even a threat to it? Like, does he even recognize us? Are we like fleas to him at that point?
Well, I never finished the anime, but don't they try fighting it and they all just die? No.
I think so. I don't know. It's over the top. But, I mean, I think the crappiest one would be the 1973, 75 here. 50.
Yeah, so in the 1971, he's got softer features, more rounded features.
That's usually when he became a hero, too.
Yeah, he's actually kind of adorable.
Yeah, they gave him the little baby Godzilla.
Yeah, and there's the Godzuki reference that Doyle made. There you go, Doyle. There's your Godzuki right there.
I got your Godzuki.
Yeah, and so you can see from like the original, like 1954, he was a lot more deformed. But you can chalk it up to maybe even like just techniques of like making these sculptures were not very well done. Very well, but he looks really deformed, which I think it's meant to be more representational of a mutated, beast. Who's again, Godzilla is meant to be a force of nature.
Yeah,
an unstoppable one at that, right? I mean, what are his offensive like techniques? He has the atomic breath, right, which is basically just like plasma, right?
It's nuclear plasma or something like that.
And then he has his tail. He has a almost indestructible hide. Those blades, like they're up and down, like the large scales up and down his back are meant to be like indestructible. Like he just can't. You can't really hurt him.
Yeah.
Now, as he goes on, he becomes even scarier. Personally, like for me, and I don't want to jump the gun too much because I know we're going to get into it. For me, the scariest iteration of Godzilla will always be from Hideaki Anno's Shin Godzilla.
I agree.
And so in that particular Godzilla, like, and I won't get too much into it now until a little bit later. I feel like is the purest form of what Godzilla was meant to be, should always be. So, but I'll tell you what the worst version of Godzilla.
Hold on, before you move on.
Oh, sure.
1989, 84. Those are the ones that when I jumped in.
Yeah,
those are the guys that I got.
And those
right
are
there.
Whenever I think of Godzilla, those are the two that I always think.
That's
of,
where I jump
for
in.
sure.
But I gotta appreciate 1991. I never realized until here the comparison. So it's not a bad looking design.
No, not at all.
It's not a bad looking design.
That's
So
what I was gonna say. I like the 91 and 89 one.
Yeah, I think these are great. I think they're really great.
I'm hoping that when you put this up, that you're able to like impose this. So you
I
can
am.
see it. Yeah,
I am.
So that you guys will be able to see what we're talking about. But we can go back to the 1989 one, right, or the 91 one. He looks really animalistic, but he's got very like defined chest, and he's just really strong looking for sure.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look animalistic for me. Like if you notice, like the ones
He
that I
doesn't.
like,
You're right.
what I like are the ones that are the most animalistic. So I'm probably like unpopular opinion, but I really do like 2024.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, no, I enjoy that one.
I also like 2014 a lot. And then of course the Shin Godzilla one, who never
We'll
got
get
to
there.
his full final form.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But man, that one is scary. Because he comes in different iterations, and each one is scarier than the last because of what they represent.
It's a trip
as
to
a
me
monster.
how the scaling though of all of them, how they go. Look at the newest one
Yeah.
from Monarch and the new series.
So
it's so small to
tell
it.
me
though.
about Monarch. Are we
We'll
going to
get
get
there.
to? Are
We'll
we gonna
get there.
Okay,
We're
'cause,
gonna get there.
Monarch is part of the new lore of Godzilla, and I'd love to hear
We'll
more
touch
about
that, but let's move on to the next one. Let's go to the best American version ever.
Do you think? Are we doing that sarcastically?
Yes,
The
of
best. 100%. American version. and so
Iguanodonzilla.
Yeah, because life moves real fast sometimes.
For those of you that are
you
not
gotta
familiar,
you just gotta stop and look around sometimes, right?
in 1998, I'm just ignoring everything you're saying here on this one. Pow, pow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Positive, you get my reference. Go on.
Okay, here's the thing though. So this is a movie that starred, for some odd reason, Hank Azaria and Matthew Broderick,
And Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
On his day off, he met up with Godzilla, and it just went all kinds of.
First
balls
of
out
all,
wild.
they made him into this iguana-looking monstrosity that looks nothing like Godzilla,
Yeah.
and they shrunk him down to a really small size where he'd be hiding behind skyscrapers in New York.
So I'm gonna tell you though, like I'm gonna be objective right now. I'm looking at this picture, and I'm gonna be the objective like movie producer trying to really sell this to you guys, and be like, look, Godzilla, he's been Japan's friend for a while. He was a nuclear nightmare. Let's just make him. Let's get him back to being scary. But then here's where they lose. They don't understand what made him scary to begin with.
Not at
Instead,
all.
let's just make him more animal-like. Right? Because, and mind you, let's make him more Jurassic Park-like. There it is. That's
There
what
it
this
is.
is. He is basically the realization of Steven Spielberg's T-Rex. Mm-hmm. And that's what this movie was meant to be. Now, did Steven Spielberg have anything to do with this movie? Or did any of those, I don't know, guys.
No,
Honestly, I have...
You know who actually? If correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not looking this up or anything. But if I remember correctly, this was the brainchild of the Independence Day crew, Emmerich and what's his name?
Okay, that makes a lot more
I
sense now.
believe that's who created this, and they were hoping that this would start a whole franchise.
Yeah.
And they shit the bed. Let's be honest. They shit the bed on that one.
Because they killed him, but they had him lay
Her.
babies or her. So,
That's the plot twist. They made it a female and it laid eggs with little
Now,
velociraptor
how
like
did the
Godzilla's.
Japanese feel about that?
They hated it. Hated it so much that in Final Wars, I think it's called, they have a cameo where they renamed this version of Godzilla to, I forgot what it was, and they had the real Godzilla obliterated. And kudos to them. That's probably the best part of that whole series. Now, the only thing I can say about this series that I take with a little grain of salt for this movie is the soundtrack, because it has where is it? It's not even on here. There's a song by Puff Daddy on here called "Come With Me Now," and it has like "Cashmere" by Led Zeppelin ripped into it, like sampled. and there's also a Green Day version, a song from Godzilla in there, and which is just a regular song from their album, but they started. God, which song was it? Here we go. Now you know that what song?
No, I don't. Oh, yes, this is not Basket Case, but
No, not Basket Case. So so for Godzilla, here let me. I'm not gonna play it because licensing, but let's recreate it real quick. You do the guitar part, and I'll tell you what they added to make it Godzilla. Go.
Dun ah dun ah dun ah dun dun.
That's it. That's what they added. It was all just Godzilla roar in between guitar riff, and that what made it a Godzilla song. Look it up.
Okay.
Spotify it if you can. YouTube it. It's the worst piece of shit that goes to the worst piece of shit Godzilla movie ever. So I highly recommend.
So it seems to me okay. So it seems to me like that the Americanized Godzilla really got him wrong because the Japanese people were used up to that point to having a Godzilla that was more mythical. He's mind you, he's always been a representation of like a nuclear fallout, mutation. But mind you, in the essence of it, I mean, his name is literally Godzilla. I mean, I guess like Gojira. And so he's meant to be a mythical creature. And you're right, the Japanese actually said that's not Godzilla. He's an iguana.
Yeah, he's an iguana.
And they make him like some of the three things that I just saw that are like the most like abhorrent things for the Japanese is one that they focus on the reproduction aspect of Godzilla, which never was a focus. And in fact, it seems like even a lot of the original lore of Godzilla, he was meant to be first asexual and secondly not able to reproduce.
No.
Like he just wasn't.
No.
Because mind you, because he's a god. Gods don't reproduce unless you're.
That's why when you get into Baby Godzilla and all them, he came from an egg. Mm-hmm. Like kind of like the Monkey King, like like Son Goku kind of thing. Like he came from a mythical egg, a product of Earth.
Yeah.
So that's how that.
Well, kind of like also like a kind of an immaculate conception because there is no mother or father. It just is. And so that makes sense.
And the American one tried to over-explain Godzilla so much. So like as your comment of how they said, oh, that's like an iguana. Well, it's not based on just nothing. In the opening scene of Godzilla is the Americans doing nuclear tests on Bikini Atoll with an island full of iguanas, and they show you the iguanas, and you see the thing behind there, hinting that this Godzilla is a mutated iguana.
Right.
Especially when Matthew Broderick's character goes to Chernobyl because there's these giant earthworms that are radioactive from the fallout. So they're trying to hint that's going
to be Mothra later on, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the other thing, it's like, I mean, but also think of how weak this Godzilla was. It was killed by missiles.
Yeah.
And mind you, Godzilla is meant to be an unstoppable force of nature. You can't hurt him. You can't kill him. I mean, you literally, like at some point, they had to like make Ultraman or Mecha Godzilla in order to even just stand up to Godzilla. Well, but they never.
Look at it. It skipped leg day. Look. You know what it looks like? It looks like that little from Spaceballs. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime.
And so he basically he runs like a dinosaur too. So for the American audience, and I think it's inherent in American audiences in general, is that we want things to sort of kind of make sense, or at least we want there to be some logic. Even though a lot of our stuff has, like, come on, in the 80s and late 90s, like these hero movies had no logic whatsoever. But you can already tell, like a producer, like trying to sell it that way. This is why it has to be this way.
I mean, come on, John McClane is real.
So okay, so to Angel's point earlier, there was a sequence in which I guess that Godzilla gets killed off in
Final Wars by the real Godzilla.
And how fast does that happen? Do you know that you watched the clip?
Yes, it's less than a minute. It is so fun. It shows up and it goes and it roars and like all dramatic, and the real Godzilla just destroys this Zilla, as the Japanese call it, in like seconds. Just like, get out of here.
According to this, it says that basically they call him Zilla, and Zilla attacks Australia, and Godzilla destroys him in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's fast. It's really it's a great scene. YouTube it.
Yeah.
A great movie, by the way. Final Wars is a great movie.
Yeah.
You know what's funny enough? We're sitting here drinking Monsters.
Yeah.
And talking about kaijus.
Hey, I'm sitting on my Monster. Yeah.
That's not what she said.
Oh, burn.
Anyway, so yeah, that's that one. But let's move on
Yes.
to.
What are we moving on to? What?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Ah,
This
yeah.
bad boy.
So Shin Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
And so here's the thing. I already talked about it. So Hideaki Anno is a filmmaker / anime. He started off in anime. He worked in the 80s on like some of Gainax's more popular anime films.
You're K-Max.
And so the most famous one that people know him for, of course, is Evangelion. And so Evangelion very much takes a lot of the tropes that Japan had built up to that point for not just for like kaijus, because I mean, really, in essence, Evangelion is a kaiju movie, but it's also
a giant robot kaiju. Yeah.
Right. Well, the angels that they are coming from outer space.
Yeah, kaijus.
So basically, Earth gets besieged by these creatures that are called angels,
Not this
and
angel.
each angel, and maybe I don't know, man. You're. So anyway, so angels are coming down, and so the response to those angels is these big mechas that they created. And so in that, he deconstructs the whole mecha like tropes of like the child hero who has to like somehow become proficient in this war, and through it all, the character is he's a very weak character who ultimately makes the bad choices and leads to the destruction of the world.
Yeah.
The end. All right. Well, he was given the opportunity to write and direct a movie of Godzilla, and he came up with this Godzilla called Shin Godzilla. Now, don't let this little picture fool you, because the real monster in the Shin Godzilla movie is not the monster itself, although he is incredibly scary. He's a great creature, because as he's going through the streets of Tokyo and destroying everything,
So vicious and savage.
blood
It's
is just
amazing.
out of, as it's transforming, all this blood is coming out of it. He's horrific, right? He really is a representation of that mutation and the changes, like the sort of violence that comes in the transformation of things, and it's just wild.
I think we do have a clip. I think we do.
Do we have a clip?
Let me see.
Is that the next one? All right, let's look at the clip.
What's this?
Oh, we're gonna have to mute that song, huh?
Yeah, I mute it.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that thing.
Yeah, and so really, at the end of the movie, I mean, you should go watch the movie. But
At this point, I mean,
ain't
you
worried
guys
about
seen it.
spoilers, guys.
Here's your spoiler.
The thing is that you don't kill Godzilla. That's the message at the end. You don't kill Godzilla. All you can do is just postpone the inevitable.
Yeah.
Because
Delay it, fool.
all they did was they found a way to slow him down and stop him, but there's no guarantee that he's not going to awaken again. And that really should be the way Godzilla is handled.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, most movies end with him going back into the ocean after all the destruction is done, and he gets bored. Essentially, when a god becomes bored, what does he do? He goes back where he came from until he wants to come back and get some more. And so the real horror, though, besides all of this, this creature,
It's his eyes.
well, I was going to say actually, what's so genius about the Godzilla movies is that at least this particular one.
You went back to that one.
Did it now? Okay, that's okay. So the real like horror of the Godzilla creature is the bureaucracy. Now the movie itself, Shin Godzilla, that's what the movie. Or what is the new? Is it Resurgence or Godzilla? I forget. They just re-released it again, and it has a different name, but everyone just calls it Shin Godzilla, which means New Godzilla. Mm-hmm. So the movie's a whole metaphor for the response that Japan had to the nuclear fallout of what was a nuclear plant in Japan called? Do you remember?
Fukushima?
Yeah. So it was a response to like the bureaucratic response to that, and also to the tsunamis that happened. All of this horrific stuff happened around those times because Japan could not respond to the catastrophes fast enough. And so
Enrique can't say catastrophe.
I cannot catastrophe. And so what Shin Godzilla does really well is show you all the rooms in which all of these decisions are happening and how bad how horrible the response is to it. And what I love about it, and this is maybe a side point, when you watch that movie, if you listen to the music that plays any single time these big decisions are being made, like in this, you see people in white suits and they're like fast cuts to them, like saying, we need to release funds to this. Well, what's going on with this town? And as all of it's happening, this great song is playing in the background, which is just a remixed version of the battle music that he uses in Evangelion. Hideaki Anno uses in Evangelion. It's amazing music.
I really wish we could play it here.
Yeah, I really wish too. And long story short, Godzilla really works when you use them as metaphor for that horror, for that danger that he represents, in my opinion. That's what I love about Godzilla.
I could see that.
So, thinking of what came next, before we go into that, I love the eyes that when Godzilla's done well, the horror that he represents shows up in his eyes, right?
It's frozen.
And so that's okay. And so what I want you guys to focus on is look at like the vacantness of his eyes. He looks almost like a fish that's a predator, right? And so hold on. Sorry about that. Did I mess it up?
I don't know. It's frozen.
That's weird.
Let
Okay.
it go. Let it go.
Do that and let's do that.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but did you know that Shin Godzilla's like constantly in pain?
Really?
Yeah, that Shin Godzilla's constantly in pain because of like all the radiation.
I could
That's
see it.
him.
You could see it. Like he does have a very painful looking face. If Enrique could get the thing going again. Oh, there we go.
Oh gosh.
I like that you took the attention away for a minute there, and then your dad always brings it back to it. Well done, you broadcasting bastard.
I gotta keep it consistent.
Yeah. Anyway,
Catastrophe.
go on.
So yeah,
Continue.
I mean,
Sorry.
And then he points it out though.
I love the point that you made about like because he looks like he's in pain. I mean, the guy's literally constantly bleeding and every change looks so painful. And so his response to that pain seems to be destruction.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think of like anytime I like stub my toe on the corner, what's the first thing I do is like, fucking, and start pounding something because I'm in so much pain. And that's what Godzilla is as he's going around. He's in constant pain. I think they might even ask that question in the movie, I think one of the characters says something along the lines of like, he must be in pain, or is he in pain, or something like that. But I think that's a really great point.
Look at those eyes though, man.
So, the beatiness of it, like there's no humanity in it. There's no consciousness. I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Godzilla's not meant to be a conscious creature. He's just meant to be a force of nature. And when you look at the eyes, we don't have it here, but the other scary one is the one from the minus zero. Is that his name?
-0.
Yeah, and so that was the one where they try to take him back to the roots of him being a construct of the nuclear war, because they specifically point out that in what's it called, Easter Island, or I forget the island that they reference in the movie, but they talk about the nuclear fallout there and how they bombed it, and they point out that must be where it came from, and all of a sudden you have this big creature that starts to attack 1950s Japan in that movie. Great fucking movie though.
Amazing
Great
movie. But in your defense, we have over 38 films. So for you to be able to, have them all memorized is, I mean, kudos to you if you do. But look at this list, man.
So
look at
I don't though, dude.
Shin Godzilla, Godzilla -1, Violante. Look at all these, man.
So which of those do you know? Like, I mean, when
Okay, Shin
is this
Godzilla.
done like in order of like what they like? Is this like a best of kind of list?
I believe so.
Okay.
I didn't really look much into it, but I mean, I know that it's just like an order of popularity or something. It looks like it.
They got that because I like that Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1. -1, not -0. Yeah, I like that those are like in the top because they really are just that good.
Look at what's number 38.
Oh my God! Never mind. There is no this is not a popularity list. This is just like, let's just put a list together.
Yeah.
There's no way that movie should be on any list other than, look, it's a Godzilla movie.
Destroy All Monsters is a great one.
Because there's been more Godzilla movies than this, right?
Yeah,
this is
there's
not
more
comprehensive.
But I think it's like the most popular ones. That's what it is.
Where's where's the newest one at?
The newest one would
So I
be
see
Godzilla,
Godzilla-
Kong, the New Empire.
But there's one after that.
No, that's the newest one.
No, there it is.
No, this
number
is
18.
before. This is,
no, number 18.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the first
There's
one.
no, actually, no. That's King of Monsters. I'm sorry. That's the first one up there. Godzilla.
Okay.
Godzilla, King of Monsters. Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire.
Okay.
And this does not have Skull Island, which is also part of this. as
Now,
well.
yeah, because
But that's King Kong, because that's
so
King Kong.
okay. So walk me through the lore then of this current list of Godzilla. So tell me. So number 6 is the first one. Now that's the one with Bryan Cranston,
Yes, that's the one with Bryan Cranston. That's
and they
when it
do make
starts.
references to some of the Japanese lore, if I remember, because one of the
It actually takes place in Japan.
right, and the guy, he's a really good actor too. I forget the Japanese actor's name who came out in that one. He's sort of the counterpart of Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And so, there's that movie. How does that one end? Do you remember?
Man, it's been so long.
I mean, he doesn't die.
No, he goes back to the ocean.
Yeah, and then you have this one. So, what is the difference between 6 and 18? I'm just going to name them by the numbers on the list.
So Godzilla 1, Godzilla appears in it very little. Okay, and it's a very dramatic film.
Yeah.
He appears very little. When they did Godzilla King of Monsters, they actually realized, okay, a lot of people complain that on the first one he appears very little. So on like the second scene, like right away, boom, Godzilla appears.
Okay.
It's still it's a pretty good film compared to the original. It's more action paced. It's more Hollywoodized.
That one though does dive into the lore of more because I
It
remember
does
they
because
introduced-
King of Monsters it has King Ghidorah
There
and
you
it
go.
has other ones. Play the next clip.
I think the King of Monsters has like kind of like 2 separate storylines throughout the movie.
Three.
Right?
It's 3 separate storylines.
You-
It's 2 main ones and 1 subplot.
You want sound or minus sound?
Minus sound always.
Oh, okay, you got it. Here we go.
But look, here's a little clip. You can see what's going on here. Like you have One Punch Man appear. Oh wait, no, that's not One Punch Man. And you have
You had me going there for a second. Man, look at how cool that looks, man.
Look at Mothra. Don't put your dick in there.
Oh, look, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
King Kong looking all
Yeah,
like
this is-
wise and subservient. Like, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah. So you see all of them like, yeah, let's
Mothra.
go beat up everybody. Yeah. Mothra.
All right, so okay, tell me what did I just see, man? What just happened there?
That's basically where they made peace and they're like, yeah, we're all gonna fuck up all the monsters. Yeah, fool. That's what
they
he
said.
said.
That we're the kings, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I went back to the list because I want to sort of place that scene in this list. Where is it at?
If I remember correctly, that one is in the new one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the new Empire.
So then after number 18, 17, Godzilla meets up with Kong.
No.
And in between that, we have Skull Island that introduces Kong.
So it's Godzilla, then Skull Island, then this one,
Okay.
which hints at King Kong, and then you have Godzilla versus Kong, which is a great film.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. This is where I fell off. I didn't see these. So
I
that's why
have them all.
you're giving. I'm your audience right now. So give me more.
I don't want to give away a lot, but basically it's the whole misunderstanding between two characters.
Right.
They're both the
Of
worlds
course,
collide.
because they're creatures, they're
Yeah.
forces of nature. Both
Yeah.
of them. Although I think, okay, so and tell me if I'm wrong, because this is just me now supposing. King Kong was always, because he is an ape, there's a inherent intelligence that's implied in the character, and so whenever these two were introduced, obviously you have to do it's east versus west for sure.
Correct.
On a movie scale, that's what's going to be. That is a thematic aspect of it.
Yeah.
But within the lore of it, Kong is he's trying to protect his territory because he is a primate. One, he's intelligent or some intelligence, but two, he's also an alpha kind of male who wants to. This is my territory, and Godzilla comes in, and Godzilla is just a force of nature, and anything that stands in its way, it's going to fight. Is that how that representation plays out?
Yes, but they add more to it. Now
Okay.
there is actually a lore behind it, and
Okay.
there is history behind it. The Kong that we know now is not the only Kong.
Really?
It's showing in the new series that actually he's from a long line of Kongs that were defenders of Earth.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So it actually shows. You go back and it starts hinting that all the Kongs that we saw before and everything, they were all ancestors of the current Kong.
Oh, so they're Doctor Whoing it.
They're Doctor Who.
Basically saying that everything that came before
Kind of happened.
kind of happened.
Kind of happened in different ways.
Chef's kiss. I want to see it.
It
I'm
is-
going home and watching it tonight.
It is actually well written. I mean, there's some parts where you're like, I don't know, grain of salt, but it's great. Now,
Okay.
when you get into Monarch, the show, it brings everything together into It's a sucker.
Well, I want to get to that because I mean, so you have Godzilla 17. Now you have 32, right?
Yeah.
And so here, are they still fighting? Because obviously they already fought.
No.
So what's going on here?
A new ape kaiju is introduced.
That's where they show that that
The
there was
lineage.
ancestors.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what they show.
So in this in 17,
no, they show it on the first one a little bit, but they
they're
don't go.
hinting
They
at
don't
it.
go too much into
A
it.
little bit, yeah.
but they
but
round it out. They beef it up.
Yeah, beef it up. Yeah, there
this
you
one.
you see all of it.
they actually show it like firsthand.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
And-
cool.
And
All right.
that shows it when Godzilla's like, "Oh, okay, I recognize you," and then okay, let's do this. And they
Okay.
basically team up against the new guy. I forget the name of it, Whiplash or something. I don't know. But
And
it's
so I'm going to assume that this new one is very destructive, and that's why these ones are all teaming up to go against.
yes,
Got
yes.
it. And
Yeah.
so now that brings us to the series,
Yeah.
right? Is the series after this, or is it somewhere in between all of this?
That's where it gets very Doctor
So
Who-ish.
do I not want to know, or do I want to know a little bit, just enough to?
I'm gonna give
wet
you a
my
little.
whistle?
I haven't gotten into season 2 because I've been watching
I'm
other
hearing
stuff.
I'm hearing tons of great things about
Okay,
season 2. By the way,
season 1 is, oh my god, you have to watch the show.
Okay.
So first of all, I'm gonna tell you this: it's not a straight line storyline.
okay,
It's a time jumping storyline.
all right,
Okay, it starts off with the events from Kong Skull Island.
shoot. All right.
So it goes there,
Okay.
and you see the aftermath of what happens in that film
Mm-hmm.
appear in this film, and then you go a little bit into the future,
Mm.
a little bit into the past, played by. You see these families intertwine: a Japanese family, the American family, and the beginnings of Monarch of the actual department that takes care of all the kaiju sightings and
is,
everything.
is that what the department's called? They're called
They're
Monarch.
called Monarch.
Got
They're
it.
called
Okay.
Monarch.
Cool.
Because they're based actually off of Mothra, by the way.
Really?
Monarch.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. When you watch the series, you'll see
All right.
you'll see it form. So Monarch has been around since the 1960s or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and but on the show you'll see that actually a little older than that, and
Mm-hmm.
it's actually 3 main ones,
Okay,
played by Wyatt Russell. You know who that is?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the son of
Kurt
he's the son
Russell.
of Kurt Russell. He came out in
Avengers
the new
and-
Avengers or whatever.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
called. What was it? What was the new one that one that came out that they called it the new Avengers?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. There you go. Yeah. So he played the Captain America
U.S. agent. U.S.
There you go.
agent.
Gotcha.
Okay. So he plays a general who starts Monarch,
Okay.
and then when you go to the future, he's still there, but now it's Kurt Russell.
Cool.
And they look and act identical. It is so amazing.
Okay. So back me up again. So the son plays the guy who started it, and then in the past, and then now we're current
And the
time,
current
and now
times,
the dad.
now Kurt Russell plays
Oh.
it. Dude,
And I love Kurt Russell, man. Come on, freaking Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Freaking the thing. Oh my god, that's beautiful. All right.
Wyatt Earp himself, dude.
Got it.
So it is an amazing storytelling, by the way, because it jumps around. First of all, when it starts, it always jumps from the past to the present, or actually near future. Let's say it's because it's not present time; it's near future. So it's showing the world after the events of Godzilla and all these things, where the planet is destroyed, and now we have to live in these pocket cities where, when there's a kaiju attack, we have to hide, kind of like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, where they have that as well.
Really?
There's
Cool.
cities where they're like no man's zone. You cannot go because too much kaiju attacks.
Wow.
And
So kaiju's have taken over the world, and we're just trying to live amongst them.
now
We're surviving it. Got
Yeah,
it.
and now they're showing you how they get here, because they're not from current times. There's like a wormhole that makes them escape from the lost city into our current time.
Okay.
And Monarch's deal is they're trying to predict where the next wormhole is to stop them from
And so that's
spreading.
like they Pacific Rimmed it.
They
They
Pacific
gave it a
Rimmed
rim job. They rim jobbed it. That's great.
It's an amazing story. I
Dude.
highly recommend Monarch.
Okay.
It brings everything together, and it does a very good job.
Now they're building up to a new movie, right?
Yes.
That's where that sequence that we just saw was sort of like jumping to the end, because it's basically there is an agreement between 3 of the major characters, and now we're going to be dealing with something bigger.
Suppose it's the last one of this in the contract form.
Now I keep on hearing like Mecha Godzilla being thrown in that,
Mechagodzilla technically isn't in King of
but
Monsters.
I mean, when people talk about these movies, I've
He's in there.
oh
He's in there.
Mecha Godzilla already passed.
Yeah, he passed already.
really, how cool was it? Was it cool?
It was different because. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah, spoil it. Go ahead.
They combine two kaijus.
Oh.
So it's King Ghidorah's carcass, brain stuck into a new Mechagodzilla. that
Okay.
they put together.
All right, so
And
he's a
that,
cyborg.
That carcass,
Mm.
that King
Kinda.
Ghidorah carcass, is the reason why Godzilla's like pissed off in the movie and destroying everything.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, he was mad. So it's very well written.
Okay.
It's very well written.
All right. No,
So
that's
there's
cool.
there's
I
a
don't mind,
purpose
yeah.
behind it, but I do feel like they nerfed Mechagodzilla.
They did.
I hope that they can fix that later when they bring in Space Godzilla. Remember Space Godzilla?
I do remember Space Godzilla.
If they, do, I hope they bring in
That was
Space
like-
Godzilla.
It's my nooch right there. Like I worked in Blockbuster, so the reason I got to watch all of the later Godzilla movies, or I should say the earlier ones, was, do you remember like in the late '90s they started releasing them all on VHS, and so when I was working at Blockbuster, I was taking them home every night and eating leftover Yoshinoya because. I had friends that worked there and I was getting all like their leftovers because I was a poor bastard. But I got to watch free movies every night and eat free Yoshinoya. And
I love Yoshinoya.
oh, me too. Still
He
do.
hates it. He hates it. I love
Really?
it. I love it. Something about that weird meat.
Well, screw the weird meat. Just get yourself a nice bowl of rice and chicken without just ask for no green onions. Ask for no green onions and none of the sauce. And dude, you got a nice, chicken bowl. It's actually really basic and simple. You
It's
just
a
put
nice
some soy
stew,
sauce.
baby. No, they have no other stuff now. They have
They do.
they have what is it?
Well, they got the
Tokyo chicken now.
Yeah, which is like it's basically fried chicken. It's pretty good. Yeah, man, go back, try it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Try it again.
It's worth it, dude. It really is.
This
Yoshino-
episode not brought
Yoshinoya.
to you by Yoshinoya, but I wish you would.
Yoshinoya is the new kaiju.
Well, wait till
'Cause
they
it destroys toilets.
Hey, that Guidon beef makes some kaiju's.
Run for the kaiju.
Run. Good choice of words.
Yeah.
All right, so
Anyway,
back to this list right here, and then moving on to the next thing. Okay, so one final thing. Which of these movies for you, when you look at it, like is the most like not your typical choice, but you're like, man, I need to show this to somebody. And again, we've already talked about the newer one, so let's
you know,
try to get a little-
you know what? Which one on here doesn't get enough love in my book? I would have to say Godzilla 2000.
Yes, I was thinking of that one too. That was definitely them trying to reboot it as a response to the terrible
Godzilla 38. Yeah,
the Zilla.
1988
Yeah,
Godzilla.
Godzilla 2000 was them trying to redeem it. Even though, by the way,
Broderick Zilla.
the Broderick Zilla movie actually was a huge hit.
It was a humongous hit.
In Japan, people went back, they watched it multiple times, but they were probably, it was one of those like things when you're really mad, you're like, oh, I'm going to sit here and be pissed off like and watch this again.
But the thing is, okay, it's weird because Roland Emmerich, that's the guy's name.
Roland Emmerich, yes.
Roland Emmerich. Okay, so the funny part is, it was a success, but it was so hated. It was so hated by so many people. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't surprise me why it was hated. But mind you, Roland Emmerich made some great movies. That wasn't one of them. The idea was good. Maybe if he would just not have done it as a Godzilla movie and just made it as a monster movie, probably would have been much better. I think we would have liked it a lot more. But when it has the baggage of Godzilla, it's going to fail. So what are we looking at here, buddy?
This is a chart from the Monsterverse, which is you see how it has
So
that
this,
weird
oh man,
Monarch
this would
one?
have been, okay, I'm sorry. I should have put this on when we were talking about it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this is some of the kaijus that show up on Monarch and on the King of Monsters. and
All
stuff.
right, so-
these things are from Skull Island. I love these things. I forget what are they called. What are the lizard skull
I don't
things?
remember. I haven't watched
Skull
them.
lizards or something like that. They're freaking vicious, man. You know what's funny? My son Alex had to do a dinosaur project for school.
Yeah.
You know, with the shoebox and all that. And he went and got a bunch of dinosaur toys and glued them on. And
Cool.
Michael is a huge Godzilla fan.
Okay.
And I mean, so is Isaac, but Michael's good. And he
Oh, you're not Isaac? You're not Michael?
no, Michael and Isaac.
Sorry, Isaac.
They have this figure, right, from their Godzilla line that they have.
Okay.
So they have a little figure. Alex got it and he like wanted to glue it on, and we're like, but that's not a dinosaur. He's like, it is now. So he has the shoebox and he has the little lizard, skull lizard from Skull Island on there for no reason whatsoever. And we kept telling him, but that's not a dinosaur. He's like, no, it is. Now it is.
The way you describe that, I want to film that because it's going to be him just sitting there with like a dart, like with a spotlight on him. And you're like, but it's not a dinosaur. And then push right into his face.
Yeah. It is now. That's Alex. That's Alex.
That's great.
But anyways, yeah, these things
All
are.
right, so what? Okay, so so obviously I know like Mothra right there, right?
Yeah.
And then that's Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And then what's this one over here? because they look like the same thing, right?
Rodan.
That's Rodan.
Rodan, yeah, it's Rodan.
Okay, and of course Godzilla. Now, who's this bad boy right here? I don't know who this guy is.
They're hinted at in the show. They're not really like
They don't have names yet.
Yeah, a lot of
Same
them
thing
don't have
with
names.
the
Mammoth looking thing, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
same thing.
What about the one? Because dude, I swear the mollusk looking one, spider one, like the crab one. That looks like a Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're kind of.
I can see that. It's a mix of ideas, like the snail thing with the legs sort of supposed to be crabs, because like the theory goes is that everything by the way, apparently in nature wants to evolve into a crab. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so one of the popular theories, and you can sort of see it independently in different ecosystems that have been separated by like hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years.
Sounds delicious.
That independently, creatures that evolve there ultimately turn into crabs. Like the crab body features start to show up in those like very separated pieces of nature.
That's interesting. Crab
and
people.
so evolutionarily speaking, everything wants to become a crab for whatever reason. I don't understand it.
Except for octopuses, because those are extraterrestrial.
That's what people are saying. That's what people are.
Isn't that weird? I mean,
well,
not just because we're the outcast, but that is that. I don't know how true is that, because they're saying that it has some DNA in it as extraterrestrial, correct?
Okay, so I'll tell you the only things that I know about it, and then I'll look it up while we're talking about something else, and I'll come back to it. As I understand it, the initial discussion about octopus pussies being like different from other, it's because when you look on the evolutionary, like what people call the tree of life, and we've spoken about this before, you can sort of trace like the DNA lineage and genome, the genetic like lineage of creatures down to two types of creatures, which is the eukaryote and the prokaryotes, which essentially is like you have like plant life and then you have animal life. Now within the plant life, you end up seeing some commonalities, but it's a very complex tree, lots of like divergences. But when you get to the octopuses, they have their own strand of lineage, and so when people talk about it and they talk about how alien they are, they've used that term. I think that it pokes up the ears that people are like, well, they're aliens, right? So initially that's how that began. It began because like most like science communicators, in order to make something interesting, you're going to say facts that are true, but you're definitely going to point out the most interesting ones. And so when you speak of them, they end up sounding like we're talking about aliens. But then it turns out that upon further research, that there is still some like unknowns. And so then the idea that they might actually be like a unknown creature that somehow survived our millions of years of evolution, because we can't quite pinpoint it, then people say it's alien. So who knows?
Interesting.
And it is interesting because octopuses are incredibly intelligent.
Extremely.
And they show like when they're isolated, they show the same signs as prisoners. When they're bored, trying to find ways to entertain themselves. If you give them like a ball, they'll play with it. They don't do it for any other reason other than to play with it. They don't use it to like communicate to anybody. They don't use it for hunting. They just move it around because they're going crazy.
They're also show emotions.
Yes, they are, and they also bond. They can discriminate between people, or we will call handlers. So like if you have like four scientists like who keep on overlooking it, they will show a preference towards one if like they feed it more or talk to it more or whatever, and they do show preference, and they're very consistent with that.
Yeah,
which shows that they are able to tell this is the one that I like. Which is a very kind of higher order thinking thing. Mm-hmm. So naturally people start thinking, oh, then it must be some type of alien life creature. I don't know. I find it interesting. But I mean, I look at that thing there and that's the first thing I thought. I thought Cthulhu, and I'm thinking...
Cthulhu is another type of kaiju. Now, there are other kaijus out there. There are not just the Godzilla series. There's the Gamera, which we spoke about earlier. The King Kong series, which is now kind of intertwined with the Godzilla lore, even though they're two different ones. The King Kong is older, started in 1933. This is more claymation, stop motion animation. and it goes on. I don't know. It's more Americanized, I guess.
Makes
than
sense.
us. Yeah. So
To the final point about the octopus stuff, like, so in essence, like, I think I said it earlier, that no, they're not alien, but they have, their intelligences are so strange and interesting enough that we start to think of them as being aliens. I mean, they show a lot of very specific things. So that's the last thing I'll say about it. But no, they're not aliens, but they're definitely incredibly interesting creatures. Okay, so back to this list. The final one that I see back there, and it's hard to tell, are those red things its arms? Like of that one creature behind the. Okay, so what is that guy, man? Because that thing looks incredibly scary. He kind of reminds me a little bit of the Cloverfield creature.
it's a Skull Island creature. It's just, again, there's a lot of them that are not really, mentioned by name. It's just like, oh, look, there's this. There's also this in Skull Island. There's one scene where they think they're in a bamboo forest,
right?
Like they're like hiding from these things in a bamboo forest,
right.
And all of a sudden you see one guy get impaled, and you're like, what the fuck? And then another one gets impaled, and then all of a sudden you see the bamboos start moving. They're actually daddy long legs.
Cool.
And when they look up, the daddy legs are on top, and they're just like piercing everyone's over and over.
That is crazy.
It is amazing.
You know,
yeah, Skull Island alone, just Samuel L. Jackson
I'm
is
gonna
in
watch
it.
because you know what you're describing to me is it sounds like there's two things that I think of. Like, one, did you ever watch the anime it's called Devil? Is it Devil Man?
I heard of that.
So
one.
there's a Netflix. There was a Netflix one that came out some years ago, and it's epically great. But Devilman was made by a guy named Go Nagai, and I'm sure you know the name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Devilman is about about the demon life actually were real. They existed, and humans, eventually became the dominant species, but that somehow, through some sort of ritual, demons started being reintroduced. But one of them, named Amon, went into a boy who happened to have stronger will than others, and he was able to take control of it. But mind you, as he's fighting off other demons, the world ultimately ends. Like, that's what's so great about it. Now, in that, they show you this like sort of hint of how the past used to be, where all these demons existed, and it was essentially like a paradise-looking planet, except every creature was killing every creature, and it was horrific. We're talking like little human like butterfly things being devoured by bigger snakes, and big snakes being devoured by. It was just like this great.
Funny
sequence.
enough, I actually did see a clip of Devilman not so long ago, and I was like, that's interesting.
It's great, dude.
Yeah.
You would love it. So watch the you can either watch like the old 80s anime, or you can watch the Netflix ones. It's still great.
Real quick pinpoint. I got a little behind the curtain kind of thing, real quick.
Sure.
I was talking about Into the Void podcast earlier.
Yeah.
Look at.
There they are.
Look at 444. So I get and then earlier, 14 minutes ago. So I get notifications when I get tagged by G-Man. Damn it, G-Man, pick one, stick to it.
We're calling you out, bro.
I'm calling you out, brother. No, I'm just messing with you. Okay, so there's Ultraman, which is also, I just want to go through them real quick. I know I love my list. Let me just go through all the other kaijus that are not mentioned.
Well, I was going to get into that because this guy here reminds me of the Cloverfield monster. And I was going to tell you.
That's on here.
The Cloverfield monster. Oh, well, is it on your list?
Yeah, it's on the list.
Because I want to ask about him. Like, I mean, he should. I wish they would have like better mapped that guy out.
There's three movies for the Cloverfield.
Sure.
Have you seen all three?
I've seen them, yes. Well,
Okay.
two of them, not the third one.
Okay.
The one in space or something, right?
Yeah, Paradox.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know anything about it.
Okay. There's Cloverfield, which I hated that movie.
I loved it.
I hated it.
Right.
But I hated it for two reasons, and that's just me nitpicking as an amateur filmmaker. The first one being, I hate the shaky cam footage stuff.
The found footage.
Found footage. Some found footage I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But the shaky cam, when it's overdone, it's ridiculous, because even if it's found footage and it's another one from Into the Void,
So
it doesn't matter.
But all found footage is shaking cam.
Not all of it. No,
Really?
There's some that's not.
All right.
Diary of the Dead, George Romero. No shake. Not very
a
little
great
shaky
movie.
cam. Yeah. There's not much.
Yeah.
There's some out. I mean, I can get into it, but that's
Blair
beside
Witch.
the point.
Blair Witch is like
Blair Witch. It does not have a lot of shaky cam. It has like one or two only, but
Okay.
it's done right, and it's one of the first found footage films.
Okay.
But anyway, I digress. So Cloverfield, I didn't like it because of that reason, and the other one, it's just the suspension of disbelief for me went out the window when they're supposed to be in Manhattan, and he's going through Manhattan across the island to get to his ex-girlfriend who just broke up with him to save her. So he has to go into her apartment complex, and they go into the lobby. And I've spoken about this before, I think, on the air. They go into the lobby and they're like, "Oh my God, we're here in the lobby of this skyscraper in New York," and it's the lobby to 1100 Wilshire here in LA.
Because that building, that area of downtown LA is always used as New York City.
And I'm obsessed with the building 1100 Wilshire. I love that building.
Yeah.
So I've been there to the lobby when I was looking at a lobster years ago. So because of the fact that it's the same one, it just personally, it threw me off because I'm like, that's LA. It's like kind of like when I see a scene like in Click where there's supposed to be in New York in the movie Click, and in the background you see palm trees. There are no palm trees in New York.
So what this guy's
I just
basically just
it's
admit
just
is
me.
that a movie could be like beautiful, perfect, and then suddenly they use the wrong setting. He's like, nope, hated it.
No.
Terrible movie.
I'm just telling you, those are the two reasons
rid of it.
that threw me off about the movie. I was already like, too much shaky cam on it.
It's
And
like
the characters
every
themselves.
movie
Now,
that
moving on.
uses- like every movie that uses Bob's Big
Now,
Boy.
moving on.
Like that's in Downey. I hate it. I hate
Moving
it.
on. 10 Cloverfield Lane, though.
Bob's
Great,
Big Boy. No, just
great
kidding.
movie. Okay, ADHD, concentrate, focus. We're almost out of time. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I liked it. Yeah.
Great movie.
I did.
It's actually the only one of the Cloverfield movies that I own.
Okay.
I do have to get the first one
Well,
though.
you own it or does it own you?
Combination of both. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
well written, very well executed. The whole like, is you know what? Funny enough, John Goodman is in 10 Cloverfield Lane. John Goodman is on Skull Island.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And John
Anyway.
Goodman's in Europe.
He's a good man. Thank you.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Lame.
that movie is great because the whole time you're thinking this guy is a nut. He's paranoid. It's crazy, and then the twist is, oh wait,
Twist.
he was right.
Boston.
Okay, I'm losing him again.
You are. I'm sorry. I'm focused.
Okay, so there's
I'm
that
back
one.
with
There's
you, brother.
Pacific Rim.
Oh, I love Pacific.
Pacific Rim. Stop. There's Daimajin trilogy from 1966, which I've never saw. So I don't know
Followed
what
by
about
Knuckle Punch and Donkey Show.
Ultraman, of course. And then, of course, there are other ones that are not officially kaiju, but I consider them kaiju. Enrique?
So you know what? Yes. I want to. I'm excited for this next one. So like kaiju. Okay. So is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man a kaiju?
It's a kaiju.
Now,
it's a supernatural kaiju, but it's a kaiju.
Oh man! Damn it, Angel! If someone asks you, you know, are you a god? You say yes.
Then die.
So Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a man in a suit, and he's parading over small miniaturized city with
Yes.
forced perspective.
Yeah.
And you have dramatic shots of people's faces looking up on it in horror. Sure, it passes the sniff test. Okay,
Yeah,
it does.
it-
It is a kaiju. Now I wonder though, if we define kaiju, and Stay Puft is like part of that now definition, is Clifford the Big Red Dog a kaiju?
Yes, it is.
Okay, why?
Who cleans up that poop?
There's the horror.
There's the horror right there.
You know what? And you never deal with his poop in the books, but you know it's happening off screen somewhere. And
Look, man, we have a beagle and we have a husky. That husky shits all over the place, man. And it's a lot of poop.
So this girl here obviously does not have to deal with the poop because she is hugging up on Clifford real hard because he's an adorable dog.
He is.
But then mom and pop have to go and pick up that big old piece of shit.
Now, do they use a skid steer or just a forklift? That's what I want to know.
Oh man, just the upkeep cost is crazy.
Imagine all the
Crazy.
dog food they have to fucking feed it. Dogs
Yikes.
eat a lot, dude.
Yeah,
Dogs
I
eat a
know.
lot.
I know. I was a proud dog owner until about maybe like 7-6 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear it.
I miss my Meanie. She was best.
So
All
then we have another one here coming up.
Here's the let's be controversial. Are women kaiju?
Not women. Attack of the 50-foot woman. This is something. Okay, so back in the 50s, we also had our own radioactive monsters.
Yeah.
It wasn't Godzilla-like, but it was close to. We had Attack of the 50-foot woman. We had the Blob, but I think that's more. I think the Blob was more like space, something like that. Have you seen The Blob?
No,
Oh, I have,
don't even know
yeah.
what that is.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, there's different there's remakes of The Blob and there's the original Blob. It was called this goop of like slime, and usually in the movie it's like a pink slime, and it moves really slow. And it devours by just touching, and you become part of it, and you like disintegrate into it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps going, and it's like alive. It's like this big slime monster that's alive, and that's the Blob.
Yeah, and okay, so sorry, I have to. I'm gonna break the fourth wall a little bit here, and I'm gonna have to do it. Okay, so
Mute it, though.
It's gonna get muted. Okay, so guys, is this the dream? Everyone, is this the dream? Is this the dream here? Let's watch. Let's watch. Okay. Are women kaiju? The answer is yes. If you're an old man getting squished by a big old bootay, I'm just saying. I mean, that's wild. That's all I'm gonna say. That's wild. But I live for it. I live for it. Okay, so you continue. So what is that movie about, by the way? The 54 Women.
Attack of the 54 Woman is there's been actually like 2 versions of it, if I remember, or 3. There's the Lily Tomlin one, and then there's the original 1950s one, and then there's about to be a new one that they're actually making. I think Tim Burton's making the new one.
Remind me of that one, because I completely forgot about that
The
one.
Lily Tomlin is in reverse though. The Lily Tomlin one is the Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Okay. All
So,
right.
but it is a remake of Attack of the 54 Woman. They just made it comical, where it's like
Interesting.
instead of it being really big, she turns really small.
So in this one though, this Attack of the 50-foot Women, tell me what happened. How did she become large?
As most 50s movies, I think it's like kind of like not really spoken. I don't remember.
It
I haven't
just
seen
starts
this in
to
years.
happen. But-
It starts happening. I think there's like kind of like radioactive tendencies behind it, so they're thinking it might be something to do with radioactive activity. Remember them?
Of course.
Ants?
Yes.
Yeah. That's also a kaiju movie.
Because I think of the 50s and like obviously women's rights were pretty much on the fringe still. People were still
They
kind of
still
coming
are.
around. Well, we're regressing.
We're regressing badly.
We're regressing. I hate what I'm seeing. Like I'm not a feminist, but I hate that I have to say I'm not a feminist, because like we're always so obsessed with defining like these terms so somehow we can quantify our weird bigotry toward things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a feminist, but still, you know what? I think that I believe in human rights and women rights, and mind you, women, are not, dumb creatures. They're people. They have opinions, and just like any dumb guy, there's dumb women. Just like any smart guy, there's smart women. Of course, there's like differences in terms of strength. Now, I look at this movie and I wonder, like, was this supposed to be some type of social commentary, just like Godzilla was? Definitely like social commentary, like trying to like deal with like trauma.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But Attack of the 50-foot Woman was this like a bunch of Hollywood men saying, "Oh man, my wife, man, she's
getting
a
out of control.
kaiju monster. She's like Godzilla." Film it.
Genius, Johnson. Genius. You've got a budget of 500,000. Make it count.
Make it sexy. And mind you, that you know what?
Cast Gina Lollobrigida.
That's a spicy meatball, I'm gonna say. All right, so what do you got for us next, Angel? Because I know we're done to the wire.
That's all for the kaiju stuff.
Yeah.
That's-
But so what do you got for us next, Angel? What do we got? What
okay.
do we got?
Let's cleanse the palate. No.
This is
skip that one. Skip that one for now.
Okay, I'm going to
Go to the boxing one. I want to show you something just to cleanse the palate real quick.
You got it. Okay, so I'm gonna press play, and here we go. Is that real?
That's real.
He knocked his hair out. Is he laughing? Is he laughing? Is he laughing? Come on, tell me he's laughing. He's like, bro, I got you, bro. I got your hair.
Isn't
done.
that hilarious?
You done, son.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there goes his hair. He's rubbing heads with him. Oh, that's embarrassing, man.
I just wanted to show you that. I thought it was funny.
Okay, I'm gonna
So they actually did, like, he actually, you know what, I give him credit. He did man up and say, yeah, I went out and got a piece done because I was a little embarrassed. I guess he had like got a new barber or something. He was getting his haircut,
Yeah.
but this is the story he's going with. It didn't go the way that he wanted to, so he shaved his head, but he was a little self-conscious, so he wanted to put the toupee on. And thought, no big deal, he
no one's
glued it
gonna
on.
knock it off.
No one's
my
gonna
head.
knock it off.
I mean, I'm gonna get into like full contact sport, but no one's gonna knock it off.
It was like a whole like Three Stooges thing.
That's bad, man.
Imagine if they would have hit him and it would just spun.
See, we've been ruined by cartoons, man. That's the problem, man. We've been ruined by cartoons because I can see what you just said. I
Yeah.
can see it. Right in my third eye.
Yeah.
That's great shit, man.
Yeah, it's
That's
just to
good
cleanse the palate from all the kaiju stuff.
Yeah.
I know most of you got bored of this episode. If you're still with us, thank you for being with us.
This was pretty great. I enjoyed it.
I love it, but I mean, I'm a
I-
geek, so I don't know. But
Well, I
know
learned some
people like,
stuff.
I know my wife is not looking, so she tuned in a long time ago.
Apologies about the 50-foot woman. That's sorry to
He's not.
our two women out there watching us. I am. I have remorse in my heart.
So,
You know.
if you've noticed, there's been a change of format yet again. We're not releasing every week. We're releasing every so often because
Yeah.
just our schedules are crazy. But hey, we're still bringing them out.
We got good ideas, and honestly, we obviously keep on working with format. I love what we're doing right now. This is really
I think this is
exciting.
great.
This is what we've been trying to do for years, and
It's a little more focused.
yeah, which I'm digging. Well, I'm liking the video screen. I'm liking that we're presenting you guys with some videos and pictures so that you guys can understand where our heads are at because we talk so much. But obviously, the balance of our humorous approach to stuff, whether you guys find it funny or not, for me that's what makes it interesting too.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
if it's not funny, then we're gonna get bored. But we got some great stuff coming up. I'm excited we're gonna do a Kubrick episode in which we're gonna try to make some connections. Obviously, you only have to look at the news to see like Eyes
Yeah.
Wide Shut is back in the conversation, stuff like that. So it's gonna be great.
For you longtime listeners or followers, we are revisiting some of the older podcasts for more of a visual take and more of a revision from our original post.
And by revisiting, meaning that we're going to talk about them again, and we may not talk on the same points. We're not going to.
More than likely
We're
not.
not going to take a script or anything. What we're going to do is we're just going to revisit the topic itself. We're going to probably talk some of the same points, but it's going to be just him and I without Doyle, unfortunately, or George here, which really colored up the conversation. I didn't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. Like added like all of that color commentary and the funny stuff. And it's just going to be us. But I think that it will be exciting. Like we're going to do Toyetic again.
Yeah.
Really love that
Gotta
concept.
redo that one.
Because mind you, He-Man's coming out, and I'm so curious about the toy lines that are going to be coming out on that. And it's all about being toyetic, which of course, if you guys heard us, toyetic is that concept that when you make a movie, is it going to translate into toys? Because that's where the real money's at in merchandising.
Exactly.
And of course, Star Wars is the most toyetic line in history. And Godzilla that we just watched, Godzilla has been like privy to tons
Kaiju
of
toys are so expensive to buy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're part of the collect. Anytime a new one comes out, like they get snatched up really fast at Target. People line up when the last Godzilla line came out of, I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago. I remember there were like lines outside of Target in the morning to run in and grab them and buy them. So to buy them, you really have to go out and look for them.
Both Isaac and Michael were obsessed at one point with kaijus and Godzilla, to be precise. And of course, me being the dad that I am, I want to give them anything they can.
Yeah, of course.
It was a nightmare.
I believe it.
It was a nightmare to
I
get
believe
them.
it, yeah.
So
So
like
to-
the Pacific Rim figures, to get them for him.
Oh.
After the fact, I had to pay double or triple sometimes.
So
for
you have
freaking
the
price.
you have the Pacific.
He has
Rim.
he has a Jaeger or had a Jaeger. I don't know if you still have
I have two
Gypsy Rolls, right?
I think.
Yeah, they're in the garage. You have a
I-
damaged one and then you have the regular one, right?
That's cool.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe a little side note, but I like between me and my brothers, we had bought some of the original Power Ranger toys back in the 90s. I had the Green Ranger's Zord. I forget what it was.
Dragon
called.
Zord.
Yeah, the Dragon Zord. I had it for years, and it was on top of my shelf. And so one day, it was maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, it fell off and it shattered. I literally shattered. Like I'm talking to pieces, and there was no rebuilding it. And that Zord is worth
lot of
hundreds
money.
of dollars.
The original one, yeah.
I have in box somewhere in the shed, like the knife whistle thing that he has.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so, dude, I mean, expensive, but we're so Toyetic is one we're gonna revisit, and we got an episode with G-Man coming up in the near future, where we're gonna bring him in. We're gonna talk about horror movies. I mean, he's a more paranormal guy, but I think it's gonna make a really fun conversation because we're really interested in talking about paranormal, versus like slasher films, and I feel it'll be interesting to sort of like talk that. So I'm looking forward to that.
We also have other guests. We're gonna take one final stab at AI.
Love that. That's pretty
Because
cool.
if since from the point that we started talking about it to now, it has exploded by generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's insane what's out there.
Well, it's common now. Now it's everybody uses it. Like I literally have a staff member who's on her phone all day, and she tells me that it's because she's talking to ChatGPT, asking it questions like not just about like work, but also like psychology questions.
Where
Like,
do babies come from?
yeah, kind of actually asking about like, you know, and she told me that she asked it like about some of her life problems and it gives it advice. And so people are using AI very naturally now. So it's weird, interesting, but also kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great conversation. And so I believe we're going to have, hopefully we'll have Marcos part of that conversation. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hopefully that'll be coming up soon.
And someday
That's next, actually.
If Lewis, my buddy, still listens to it, I doubt it. And you're a
He's
loser.
a little bitch.
You're a bitch.
You're
You're
a bitch.
You know what? I send him middle finger videos every chance I get.
You know what? You know the thing? He's not a bitch. He's a bitch.
He's a bitch.
Bitch.
He's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like.
Hi, Lewis.
So hopefully one day I'll get him on here.
Bitch.
But whatever. We'll see.
Anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah. Hey, Lewis. Toma.
Read between the lines. Isaac, anything you want to say? Good stuff. No. Anything?
Wow.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I just want to say I agree with Doyle of letting out the kaijus.
Doyle,
This is the young generation. They just want to see it all burn.
Doyle, we miss you a lot.
Yeah, that was.
We miss you a lot.
Dude, you got to do more like videos for or call-ins like that for us, man.
Video would be great, but I mean, you're lazy, so a phone call is good enough.
Hey, now he's proven that he knows how to do it. Send us another
He's
one.
always known. He just doesn't want to do it because
From
he's
now
lazy.
on, we're gonna try to get him to at least send us a little segment. That was really energetic. I loved it. That was fun.
Yeah.
So,
well,
we'll have to
that's
get
about
him
it. And before I say the sign off, I just gotta say, Lewis, you're a bitch. And remember, never make eye contact while eating a banana. Good night.
Oh yeah.
The fuck?